Welcome back. Recap of what happened last episode was just, you know, A Troop auditioned and we're about to find out who didn't make it, because someone didn't make it that, you know, we weren't expecting. Obviously, we know it's Giselle. She doesn't make it. This is called Dance Dance. Okay, so the first big scene, Michelle sits on the floor alone next to her dance bag outside Studio B. In Kate's office, Kate and Chris discuss Michelle and what an asset she's going to be to the team. They'd like to know how capable she is since she was dance captain at her old studio. Kate and Chris decide to split the troupe into two teams. Michelle will captain one team and Emily the other. Right, so that's how this is all about, like, us putting together those two separate dances. Yeah, Stephanie talked about how Michelle may have been tricked, but who's to say who did it? Her smile reveals it might have been her. She also mentions how it did show team spirit not to tattle on the person. I haven't obviously looked at these scripts in like a decade. And it's insane to me how specific, but like not specific they were. They did a great job of just writing sort of like story while giving it, like leaving it super open-ended so that we could interpret the script however which way we wanted and really kind of make it our own by like saying it how we would normally say it, right? Like if it was to be Riley, like Riley talks about how Michelle may have been tricked, but who's to say who did it? Her smile reveals it might have been her. I would play it a completely different way because Riley's a different person, but like just because Stephanie's the one that does it, it sits differently. A lot of this is just general notes of like, here's kind of what happens in the episode. These are how the characters feel. This is where they're at, and this is the story points that we have to hit. But we get to just sort of do whatever we feel or say whatever we feel. I think this is the episode where Giselle obviously gets kicked out of E-Girls because she's not in A Troop anymore. And then Chloe, because she's got put into A Troop, she gets put into the E-Girls. Or maybe that's episode 3, but this is where they decide to split the two troops, and then we perform Emily's routine and we perform Michelle's routine. Okay, let's begin.
Previously on the next step.
Previously on the next step.
What chance is there of me becoming a professional dancer if I can't even make it into A Troop?
The stakes are so high for all of these dancers because A Troop is apparently like the top. But also, like, isn't there other studios that we could compete at? I always wondered that. Why is the next step so amazing? I guess because they've been to regionals before and like won regionals once, but they never went to internationals before this point. They never even went to nationals. So like, what's the big deal, you know? But I guess, yeah, it's because it's known as this like really great studio that brings in all these new dancers. Are you just picking your nose in the background of the fucking shot?
I was seeing how long I could do that before you actually noticed.
I'm always looking.
Am I causing trouble by just being in the background? I can get out of your hair. You want me to go away?
It's up to you.
I think I'm gonna go away.
I love being part of the E-Girls. You're part of a family.
Everyone's voices in this show are so much higher pitched than I remember them being. It's just because we were younger, I guess. But like, did all of our voices just like drop? Like an octave? Because it sounds weird. Oh, this is the iconic shot. This is the like, let's do this! And then each A Trooper comes in, and that's how you learn who's on A Troop.
I mean, that's a whole other year with Emily. That's a whole other year I get to ask her out.
That's one thing they do, is they give like one story point or one specific thing about that character, and then that's the thing that defines that character. Like Eldon isn't necessarily like a phenomenal hardworking dancer who is incredibly talented and believes in himself a lot and also is like loyal to his friends till the end. No, none of that. It is that he is madly in love with Emily, who feels nothing in return for him.
When I find out that I made it into A Troop, I'm bursting with joy.
Oh, Victoria! I'm only gonna ever call these people by their real names. But Victoria, that was so sweet, because I know all of these talking heads were improv'd. Every single one of them was improv'd. Oh, I actually have something kind of fun. I know I mentioned this last time, that we used to do, or I can't remember when I mentioned this. In one of my story times, I talk about the talking heads that we used to do, and sometimes they would like bulk them all together, or while they were editing an episode, they realized they wanted more talking heads. So we would do like talking head days. And so they would hand us these sheets. This is what it would look like. Can you guys see that? 116, scene 16 is episode 16 from season 1. scene 16, and it gives us a little bit of a description. Without Emily and Stephanie in A Troop, Chris decides to audition B Troop dancers to fill their spots. How do you feel about them leaving? So obviously I'm giving a bit of a spoiler to like later in the season, but I have to answer that question in my own words while including the question in my answer. So I would have to that question, I'd be like, with Stephanie and Emily leaving to go to Elite, I feel kind of betrayed, abandoned. I don't really know what to think about it. Something like that would be my answer. Stephanie confesses to Riley that Emily made it too late. What do you think when you see Stephanie sitting there? I answer the question. What do you think when you hear that Emily got into Elite? I answer that question. And so that's kind of how these talking heads would work. And so that's how I know that that talking head was all Victoria. And she literally just said, I'm filled with joy or something. I'm bursting with joy is the word she chose, which is just so sweet and wholesome and very like, you know, Michelle. I don't know.
I'm scared that she's gonna throw our family off balance. It might affect us as dancers for regionals.
How? She's a phenomenal dancer. She's gonna help us to win. It's just because she wants to be there for her girl Emily. That's all. Daniel.
So I'm really, really happy.
It's the first step for becoming a professional dancer for me, so I'm really, really happy. The only song they had the rights to for the last 2 episodes was Stand Up. Because that's the only song that's playing in the entire episode. Oh no! What was that? Brittany, what was that? B-Ray, little B-Ray. She just went. My facials, they are out of control. Like by season 4, I figured out how to perform and like open up to camera. But my God, I was just like so intense. I'm so serious and I take this very seriously. Oh, that kick, bat maw, and then back. Not stretched ankles, and the tilt was awkward. They also didn't film it at the right angle, so I was like, ugh, and it's just like, oh God. Anyways, you know what though? Hey, the dance was great. I'm very self-critical, you guys. That's just who I am. I always have been. And like I said, if I thought everything I was doing in this episode was great, I think there'd be something wrong, because that means I'm not improving. I'm not getting better. So it's a good sign that I'm cringing right now.
I get another year to be with my sister, to be with my friends.
Riley. Oh, yeah, you guys are right. Riley's the best. I love Riley because she really is, like, about the team, and, like, I get to be with my sister, I get to be with my friends, I get to, like, hang out with everyone, I get to work harder, and that's really what it's all about. Oh, God.
I am so confident in our A Troop this year.
That face. What am I? Let me try and recreate it. I'm not actually that happy. I'm like, smile. Like, be happy, dude. You made it to A Troop. Be happy. If it was me now, I'd be like, I said this in the last reaction video that I was so self-conscious of my teeth because, thank you, because I had like gaps in my teeth. I still had braces. I didn't have braces on my bottom teeth, so they were all crooked. They were like this. How did Giselle not make it in? This always baffled me. Always. And I was very vocal about it from the beginning. I'm like, I don't understand how the winner of So You Think You Can Dance Canada can't make it into A Troop.
Yeah. Bro, you did it? Oh my God.
Everyone who didn't make it in is just like, just like covering their faces to make it so obvious that they did not make it.
Being an A Troop
Oh my gosh, that was such a cute moment with Jenny.
is an honor because you have
Oh, new fit, new outfit. Look at that cute little tank top. See, wow, I'm so skinny. I'm like twigs. This is why my hair is so frizzy, because they always just like straightened it every day, just straightened it.
to work for it and you have to work to stay in it.
You have to work for it, and you have to work to stay in it. You know how when you're like 16 and you think about like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna be like when I'm 25? And you think like, oh, I'm gonna have it all figured out. I'm gonna be like living on my own, like making so much money and like doing amazing things, and like I'm just gonna have life figured out, you know, like when I'm 25. I can't wait. Newsflash to my 16-year-old self. You don't have anything figured out. You never do.
Obviously. I deserve it. I work hard. I pretty much am a troop.
Okay, Emily needs to sit down. She needs to take a minute. Because, wow. Oh, like, I appreciate her confidence. I appreciate that she's like, I work hard, so I deserve to be here. Fair. But not, I basically am a troop. That's not necessarily true. We could probably do it without you. Let me rephrase that. We could do it without anyone. Any single person can come out, which is what Riley said. You need to work hard to get there. You need to work hard to stay there. Which is true. Right, Ben?
Giselle has earned her place in A Troop, not Michelle.
I'm telling you, if they only knew that she won So You Think You Can Dance Canada, they'd change their tune.
I don't understand what I could have done.
It wasn't your fault. It was Michelle's.
Oh, shit. It was Michelle's. That bitch took your spot. That bitch ruined your chances because she did a better audition than you. Sorry.
I promise. I'm gonna get you back.
I'm one of Emily's.
This is also another thing. Riley's her younger sister, but she made studio head before Emily did.
What am I gonna do now?
See you soon.
You're gonna be fine. You're probably gonna be better off without this little clique of girls. Cliques are never really the best thing. Like, yeah, you can have your tight friends, you can have friends who you're really close with, but like, if you're gonna exclude other people from your group, then it's probably not the best thing to be a part of.
Hey.
I miss you. Like,
Oh yeah! Okay, so fun story about this whole Beth and James thing. Frank, the creator of the show, he knew the moment that we got season 1, like this, when we were filming this episode. I'm pretty sure it's not in here, but they didn't have this written in it though. They didn't have James gets pulled aside by Beth and she says that she misses him. And they originally had Giselle shoot the exact same scene with him. This scene. It was gonna be Giselle that James cheats on Riley with because they used to date. And so with Beth, they shot the scene like last minute. They shot it once with Giselle and once with Beth, and they realized, oh, Giselle's too nice and she's too close to home. She's too close to the family to be the person who betrays Riley. It has to be an outside source. It has to be someone from B Troop who's not really invested in the story that much. Someone who essentially the audience can hate, unfortunately. And so Frank knew at this point that James was gonna cheat on Riley in season 2. He knew it. He already knew that was gonna be a story point.
hey,
Oh my God, did you see West? He literally went.
a lot of people wanted this spot, so
Yeah, I know it's.
you better work really, really hard.
Damn, Alex is good at being a conniving, sneaky, manipulative person. Like, dang, I don't like Emily. I don't like her. She's just sneaky, you know? And we all know from season 7 and my reactions that I don't like sneaky.
Okay?
Okay. I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, Michelle is very like doe-eyed, doesn't really know what's going on, doesn't pick up on those little nuances that Emily's giving her. She's just like, what the hell? Like, I thought she was really nice. And so she's like, Michelle is very much like the new country girl coming to a big city, you know, ready to like try and take on the new dance studio and like make friends, but then she's confused as to why girls are like bitchy to her.
The juice bar is basically just a place for all of us to hang out, you know, whenever we have a break from dance. We just kind of all like to let...
Oh, that juice that you can't really see it, but that juice that I'm drinking, they had to constantly refill it because I had just learned the concept. This is the first time I'm ever working with food as a prop in a scene. And I was like, I get to actually consume the drink in the middle of the scene? And I remember like the prop department being like, okay, but can you not drink too much of it because we only have so much of the drink? and for continuity's sake, like, just in case. So I would like take a sip, but then like not swallow it. So I would like, it's kind of hard to explain. I would like suck it up into the straw, but then like it would go back down into the drink. That's gross. But that's what I was doing right here. And I remember because I was still being such a stickler with like, I don't want to drink the drink too much. Whereas by season 4, I was eating everything. Every single food prop in front of me, I was like, I'm gonna eat this in the scene. Just love to snack. What can I say?
Number 3, know the handshake.
The handshake. Let me see if I remember it before they do it. You make an E and then you make a G, right? Like E girl, and that's the handshake. I think we made that up.
And then you have to like connect with somebody else to make a G. Does that look like a G? I don't know. G?
Oh my God, Riley, that was really cute, little B-Ray. That was cute. Oh God. Oh, I'm so awkward, but I love it. That's the vulnerable awkwardness that makes her really likable, I guess. I'm trying to be kinder to myself. Whereas now, when you get older, any 17-year-olds out there who are feeling really insecure, it does get easier. You get more comfortable with yourself the older you get. More problems arise as an adult, but I'm not gonna bore you with those.
Nobody else knows, so don't tell anyone.
I remember this, that I said nobody else knows, so don't tell anyone. I was saying that line to Rachel Schaefer. She was always the one usually who like read our questions to us for Talking Heads. So she's sitting in the opposite chair. Whoever, like you can see my eye line is slightly off camera. Also, what is that face? And I'm looking to the person sitting in one of those cast chairs on the opposite side of the camera. They're reading the questions to me and we're there who we're talking to. But I remember this scene, I said that line. I like made it up and I was really proud of it. Cause I said, they were like, tell us about the E-girl, like what's the E-girl handshake? And so I showed them the handshake and then I was like, but it's a secret, so don't tell anyone. Which is just like, she's very cute. Oh, Riley, baby B-Ray, you're cute. Oh God. I'm embarrassing myself right now in this moment.
To be an E-girl, you have to be an A troop, Giselle. Telling Giselle was hard. We are.
Don't act like it's this big, difficult thing for you to say. You're the head fucking bitch. You're the head E-girl. You can absolutely change the rules for your friend and be like, hey, dude, like, so normally you can't be in the E-girls because of A troop, but like, fuck it. We are a friend. Of course you can sit with us. Don't be stupid. Don't be lame. That is so lame. I never realized that before. Watching this back, Emily's like victimizing herself, being like, it's really hard to tell her, but the rules are the rules. But you made up the rules.
I'm not too happy about what Emily says to Giselle. I mean, because she's not an A troop, she's not a part of the E-girls, and I just don't agree with that.
I do really like Riley. I'm trying to be impartial. Here's the thing. Of course, I'm going to pick that I like Riley because I played her, so I know exactly who she is. I know why she eats, breathes, sleeps, dance. I know everything about this girl. I know exactly why she does what she does. Like, I've lived in her shoes for many, many years, so I am only ever going to try to justify Riley's choices and see her side of things and love her. So even when she made the mistakes, even when she messes up, I'm still only gonna love her because I have to, because I played her.
I thought I should say a proper goodbye to Studio A.
Also, this solo that Jordan had to do was entirely improv. They were just like, hey, do you think you could just do a solo? This was like, actually, this was the start. This was the first emotional solo or emotional moment in a character's journey where they have to work through it by performing a solo in Studio A. This was the first one, I'm just realizing. So this, really, that whole story point that's been repeated in every season, really, started with this because they didn't really have it written that she would perform a solo. It was just, hey, like she just like is moving around a little bit in Studio A, or she's just like walking around Studio A, and they're like, no, let's see her dance. She's the winner of So You Think You Can Dance Canada. Let's have her dance.
Dance captain in her last studio. I think it'd be really, really cool to see what she can bring to our studio.
I still think Emily's a better dance captain, but I can absolutely see Chris's side of things.
That is the first scene that I read in the, oh wait, did they cut that out then? Michelle sits on the floor next to her dance bag. This is from episode 3. Why? This is 102, episode 102, Dance Dance. Oh, they must have changed. This is definitely one of the first drafts of the script because they definitely changed things around. They moved that entire teaser. This is probably one of the first original drafts of the script. Oh, so I only have those scripts. I don't have like the new versions. There's different colored pages that whenever there's a new change in the script, they make it a different color so that you can just like take out the page and put in the new color so that you know if you have updated up to the yellow draft, then you have the yellow pages in your new script. That means you're updated. You're up to date on what the script is.
Did Emily send you the picture of our kittens?
Oh, they're so cute.
Wait a second. This was when we got Mario and Millie. My parents had just gotten these 2 new kittens, Mario and Millie, and so I'm actually talking about my real kittens in this scene.
So has Emily talked to you about getting me back into A Troop?
She's mentioned it.
I'm so tiny. I'm like a teeny tiny little nugget. Like so little.
When Emily asked me to go shopping, I'm flattered, but also I have to pay for all my dance expenses. And I won't be able to buy anything. It might be a little bit embarrassing for me.
Yes, Chloe's storyline was the best. I loved her storyline because it's a real issue. Dancers, it's not talked about because really dance is kind of like a rich person's sport. It's so expensive to do, to like compete. Like you can do rec dance and like get by not having to pay too much, but if you're gonna go to one of the elite schools where you're doing so many classes a week, you have to pay for costumes, comp fees, not to mention your regular like training fees, and then like dance shoes that you're constantly replacing every month because you're working through them, and then like dance attire, and it's just like it's so much money to spend. And so many times dancers are struggling or their parents have to work multiple jobs to like give their kid what they want. Like Chloe's storyline was such an important one and I'm so happy that it was in it, but I don't think they really, like they leaned into it in season 1 and then they never touched it again. And I felt like it would have been so cool to like see her struggle a little bit more maybe because there's so many more places. I don't know, but again, maybe it was just not a storyline they wanted. There's also so many different things that I don't know. Like I don't know why they ended Chloe's storyline as early as they did either. Like, I'm just not sure. I don't know.
Chloe's already breaking the rules. It's just not a good sign.
For sure, yeah.
That's a lame rule. What if you're like, oh, my, loved one is in the hospital. I gotta go be with them. Or they're having surgery and like, I wanna be with them for that. Eagle rule number 51, when one e-girl goes shopping, we all go shopping. So you're out of the e-girls. Like imagine.
Good day, guys.
Everyone's faces are hilarious. The like, what the fuck is this bitch doing here? Oh, okay, so here's the scene that I just read. All the way back in the teaser, Michelle sits on the floor alone next to her dance bag. Okay, so all they did was rejig some of the scenes here. That just goes to show you how different it is in the edit than it is in the script. Like when we film it, we film it all out of order anyway, so like seeing it all cut together is always very different.
I was told that there's rehearsal in Studio B, but...
So that's a school hallway. You can definitely tell by like the flooring and just like the way the hallway looks. It's a school.
You know, I don't want to call Stephanie out because I'm new here and I really don't want to shake things up.
Michelle with the one-liner, she keeps knocking them out of the park. I really don't want to shake things up. You're so cute, Michelle.
Work it. Hey, Zach, do the caveman again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, B Troop is just like not as like committed as A Troop is. So they're just like, they goof off, they don't really care as much. Whereas now the B Troop that we see today is like so much more passionate about dance, which is the kind of B Troop that you want to see. Like this is obviously like a lame B Troop.
We don't tolerate lateness. Did she do that at our old studio? I don't know, but if she did, maybe they were at a different level than we are here.
She's pretty late for her first day, though.
Michelle has no chance lasting in A Troop. I mean, look at this horrible first impression.
Stephanie's such a bitch. Also, there's no teacher for B Troop. There never has been. I kind of want to see a teacher in B Troop. I wonder if Nick will do that for season 8, if they bring season 8 back.
Well, I guess we should just vote and get it over with.
I'm the best dance captain because I'm the best leader. And honestly, I don't see anyone in the studio being able to handle it other than myself.
The thing about Emily this season, which, like, I get it, she's supposed to be partially, like, a villain, really. You're supposed to not like her, but still understand why she feels the way that she feels. She's confident and she works hard, and she feels like she's earned her position. Fair. However, she's so obnoxious about it and, like, demeaning to other people. Like, everyone else is terrible, I'm the best. No one else can do what I do. Like, no, that's not what a dance captain should be, which is why Michelle coming in to shake things up is really such a positive thing for the studio, because then when they finally do put their differences aside and just, like, team up in the end, it unifies the team.
As soon as Kate tells us we're gonna pick a new dance captain,
I would always start questions like that. As soon as the question you just asked me, I feel scared. I feel not sure. Like, there's a different way that I could phrase it, but at this point I didn't know how to do that really that well yet. I got better at talking heads.
I get anxious.
It sounds like an essay. Like I'm giving a spoken word essay. When Miss Kate tells us that there might be a new dance captain, I get anxious. Instead of being like, a new dance captain? Like, as the talking heads are now, they're like a direct, jump off from what was just said in the scene. Because, again, it's much more structured. This show, as every first season is of any show, it's hard to tell, like, what the show really is yet, because that's why, like, season 7, it's a very formulated show. It's all figured out. They know what they are now.
We want to see what else is out there, and the dancer that we have in mind was actually captain at her last studio, and we want to see how she leads this studio. Michelle.
Oh, look at her face. You bitch. How dare you be a great candidate for dance captain? Bitch.
Would you like to help this team out? Would you like to be part of A Troop still?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect, yes. Great.
Reaction, as if Michelle wasn't just like coaxed into saying yes to wanting to be dance captain. She wasn't down to do it, but then Miss Kate just wants to put her foot down and show her authority, which, yes, see, Miss Kate had some authority when it really mattered. Like, she just completely put words in her mouth. And then Emily's reaction is like, oh, you just said you didn't want to be dance captain. How dare you go against me? Oh my god.
My dance captaincy means everything. If Michelle wants to battle me, bring it on.
She didn't want to battle you, though. Like, people are so narrow-minded. Wow, I'm really getting reactions out of this. I've seen this many, many times. My final thoughts are that I can see why the character Riley is more likable, because she's staged to be likable. They wrote her that way as well. Like, they could have wrote me as, like, one of the e-girls, and, like, they could have wrote me to, like, really lean into that whole mean girl shtick, I could have been that person of just, like, who is this new girl? Like, whatever. And then eventually she wins me over. But that's more so Emily's storyline. And so, actually, a fun fact that Frank, the creator, told me when they first saw me audition, they said that they liked my audition, but they didn't know whether I was an Emily or whether I was a Michelle, because those were the only two people they were looking for. And they were like, we didn't know where you fit into the cast yet, but we knew we wanted to have you on the show because you weren't an Emily and you weren't a Michelle. You weren't the new girl, doe-eyed girl coming into the city for the first time, and you weren't the mean girl. And I think it was Rachel Schaefer, actually, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure Rachel Schaefer, who is now one of the showrunners of the show, had made the suggestion, what if she's the sister of Emily and she likes the new girl? And then, so there's that, like, she's the conflicted character, and we can make her really likable, and so that's kind of why Riley is very likable, because she was staged that way. And also, I'm awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed me cringing while I see my baby self try to act for the first time. It's very strange watching yourself back from years ago when you were a kid, really. Like, so baby, so naive and innocent, and like not like, and then like looking back on that now is just strange, and knowing what was going through my head at a time like that in my life. Damn, season 1 is good. I like season 1. This is a good show. I can see why you guys like it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. That's the day. Bye.